I had a moment where I was tired of the patterns in my life, and I had a come to Jesus moment. And I remember looking in the mirror going, is this it? Take me now. Like, I am done. And as soon as I said that was when I got my first teacher that came across my path. This amazing, like almost like a mystical pastor, like a pastor that was kind of teaching me to find, God within and not outside of me. And then we began that journey of self-discovery, but I had to unravel all these belief systems that said I had to do something to be who I already was.
Welcome to the Soul Secrets Podcast. We're your hosts, Kirstin
and Carli,
where we open up our hearts to you in hopes that you'll open yours to ours. Tell them why we're here, Carli.
Oh, I'll tell you. How about inspiration, transformation, of course, self-love, and fearless expression?
We're going to share stories of triumph and tragedy and everything in between, what we've learned and what we've gained, and in hopes that it will help you along the way.
Let me tell you something, y'all. We've spent a lifetime keeping it inside, and we finally realized that it's our time to shine and speak our minds. You know you're going to want to hear it. Stick around while we share our soul secrets. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Soul Secrets, where we have Kirstin King Aber and Carli B. Webb here to chit chat and share with you all of these amazing experiences and stories that we have collected over the years as mothers, as women, as deep mystical muses, as interested women ready to grow and share with the world all the things that we want to create and do. And so we're here just to share the stories and support other women and people and mothers and whomever in their life's journey, in hopes that maybe the lens in which we talk and speak through would illuminate something inside of you and spark joy and spark creation and creativity and all these things. So what do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, we're here. And just to preface as well, we are the most normal. I don't want to use the word normal because it sounds plain, but I just want everybody to know that we are just like you. We are just like everyone else. We come from just a simple background. We're not already famous. We are just starting this from ground zero. And please just give us grace, and also know that, you're just like us. We're just normal, fun people just looking to start a podcast and just to spread the word of what we think has helped us through our life, and we want to help you with your life. So we're just so happy to be here. This set took us like months to figure out. The name took us months to figure out. It all just came together all at one time, kind of suddenly. And now we're here and we're just going to have fun. So if you can hang with us through our maybe messing up and figuring things out and just laugh with us, it's going to be a good time.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's just us. This is us.
Yep. This is us.
This is me and you, Carli.
I know.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
I know. Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited. So I think this episode was really just to let you guys know a little bit about who we are and our backgrounds maybe, and just to tell a little bit of our story. So I'm going to let Carli go first because she is much better at this. Okay, so just so you'll know, Carli is the performer. I am just a little more behind the scenes usually. So when we first talked about this podcast, I said, can we please just make it an audio podcast? And Carli said, no. Yeah. So she wanted to be seen. I did not want to be seen. So this for me is really tough. This is easy for Carli. This is her element. She's ready. And so I'm learning. She said that I am going to learn to perform. So we will see. So if you stick with us, maybe you can see that transition. But anyway, I'm going to let you start. You can tell a little bit of your story.
Absolutely. Well, I think you're doing great, number one. So good job speaking from your heart. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. And yes, I do love to be showy and to be seen, but I haven't always been that way. Actually, I was a very shy child looking at Star Search on the TV. Was it called Star Search?
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Search when I was like 6 years old.
You're right. Yeah.
I remember watching it on this Zenith TV, and we were laying on this like fold out couch. It was like foam, growing up, I was probably 6 or 7. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh yes, I want to be on the stage. I want to do that thing.
And I'm thinking, I never want to do that.
And as I thought that, I kept it away and tucked it away and didn't tell anyone. My mother was looking at me and she was like, Carli, you want to be on that stage, don't you? And I was like, no. secretly held it in for 40 years. So anywho, so I am from Southwest Louisiana, a small town called Crow, and I grew up there for 18 or so of my years. Always been working in the medical field. Dad was in ultrasound sales, owned a company. Mom was worked in the chemistry lab, fooling with blood and all that stuff. So I just
So you want to be like them?
Yeah, I simply did what they said I could do. They were like, Dad was like, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse,
but not a star.
But not a star.
You cannot be a performer.
They didn't know what that was. They were like, you can do these things. And I went, okay, I guess I'll be a nurse. Like, sure, whatever. So I've been doing that for many years,
And you are an amazing nurse.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are.
But anywho, so yeah, just growing up in the country, small town girl, and with big dreams, but a small town mindset, not really knowing what the world was really like. And so here I am today, just ready to talk about
getting out there.
Yeah, getting out there, the growth, the stories, the things that I learned, the things that I messed up on, and giving myself grace along the way.
Definitely. We need that.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit different in that I'm from a small town, mostly lived in Plaquemine, Louisiana, which is another southern town. I knew that I was a small town girl, but I had really big dreams, not to be a star, but just always dreaming, dream. And, people would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I didn't know. I mean, one of the only things that I knew I wanted to be was a mother. And that was really important to me, is to find a really good husband and be in love and to be a mother. And as far as a career, I didn't really have anything specific in mind. I always thought maybe a teacher, maybe an architect. I love to draw. I loved art. But I always kind of thought none of those things sound big enough. But I didn't understand either what having a big dream was, although my parents were very supportive and kind of just whatever you want to do, do what you love. But there still wasn't, and I think it was just the time we grew up in, right? It wasn't necessarily like it is now, where everyone is saying, just live your dream, be who you want to be. I mean, they were more focused on, let's see what career you want to be. It was just constantly thinking, I don't think there's any career I want to do the rest of my life. I mean, I couldn't figure out anything that I want to do the rest of my life. But of course, I had things I like to do and stuff like that. But I was never really extremely great at any one thing. It was more, I was just good at a lot of different things. And so I also just believed that if I just live in the moment and enjoy what was going on now, that everything's going to work out for me. It will, and it'll work out. And it always has. And 44 years later, I guess part of the reason why I'm here is because I want to tell the world that after 44 years of believing everything will work out the way it's supposed to, knowing that it has worked out the way it was supposed to, and everything in due time. And it really is such a beautiful thing when you can live that way. And I'm ready to tell everybody that. And I want to show everybody how to do that. And some of that's just going to be through me speaking and kind of telling my stories, just to show everybody what I did. Not that I did it perfectly by any means, but it's worked out for me. So I'm happy to let everybody know how I did that. And I'm excited to know, what everybody else feels about it. And also for you to tell us how you got to this point, through all the podcasts. Obviously, it's a long story. It's 44 years of life. But I think that we make such a good mix, because I'm able to guide you through your, life decisions, and you're able to help keep me on the up and up as well. And I think our personalities are perfect. So we hope that you guys enjoy them as much as we enjoy each other.
Definitely, for sure. And just a little more backstory is Kirstin and I, we went to college together. We were college roommates. So we met when we were 19. We became college roommates, and I got pregnant when I was 20, and then my life changed. And then we unbecame college roommates for like 20 years as I began my family and, working the grind and doing all that stuff. I hadn't seen Kirstin in 20 years or so. And,
we saw each other here and there, but
very little, very little.
Was just to kind of say hi and how are you? And, that kind of stuff. But also, fun story of how I met Carli. We were looking for a roommate, and Carli had come to a Christmas party with a friend of ours. And we were playing the white elephant gift, and she got a really, unreasonable, silly, raunchy gift. And she was just so upset and she threw it down and she was like, this is silly. I don't like this. And so when we knew we were looking for a roommate and someone mentioned her, we were like, oh, I don't know. That girl's annoying. But we said, we're really desperate. Let's just take her in. And so we did. And we just had the best time. Carli's like so funny and she kept us laughing constantly. She's kind of like a little brother in a sense, that just likes to aggravate you to be funny. But we loved it. And so we were really sad when she had to leave. And we were happy for her that she was having a little bundle of joy, but we did miss her a lot. And there began your biggest journey, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the journey of, it was almost like different than the way that you described it. Like you were talking about, like you had to have a dream and you were always doing lots of different things, which I do remember doing a lot of those things too, like good at basketball, good at art, good at like everything I did. I was good at, but I never really saw it like come to fruition into this excellence, into this way, But once I got pregnant, it was more like, we weren't married at the time. And so the culture of the South was like, oh my gosh, if you get pregnant, then it is a cardinal sin. Your life is over. Like that was the undercurrent of the South in Louisiana. So something in my subconscious mind was like, your life is over. So what that meant for me unknowingly was I just began to work and finish nursing school and climb the ladder and keep up with the Joneses, get the house, get the car, perfectionism, try to raise the kids, did all these things, checked every single box. I was like, success, success, success. But then I was like, is this it? Like something isn't right. Like, why do I not feel
something
connected? Like it's like I was a mother, but I didn't feel connected into the deeper things of motherhood. One would think like you want to just love it, and I didn't love it. I enjoyed it, but I guess over the years, what I learned was that it was because I was building this performance-oriented life to try to redeem that subconscious thought of, oh my gosh, you were a sinner, So I lived my whole life, 22 years of building this castle of a life, being unfulfilled, feeling guilty about it, not knowing why, until I started my own personal journey of healing probably 8 or 9 years ago.
Trying to find your soul. What was deep down there?
Trying to find what was in my soul.
Right.
What were the desires of my heart, that I shut away unbeknownst to me, really. Unbeknownst. And that's the thing. But the kicker is, the great thing was that I had a moment where I was tired of the patterns in my life. And I had a come to Jesus moment. And I remember looking in the mirror going, is this it? Take me now. Like I am done,
Yeah.
And as soon as I said that was when I got my first teacher that came across my path. This amazing, like almost like a mystical pastor, like a pastor that was kind of teaching me to find, God within and not outside of me. And so then we began that journey of that self-discovery, but I had to unravel all these belief systems that said I had to do something to be who I already was.
And that's one thing I think that we hope for this podcast is, I feel like, at least I know where we live here in the South, that we're all so used to this one teaching of what it is to be yourself, or what it is to who is God, and how do we love God, and how do we love ourselves, and how all that fits in. And I think over these last few years, you and I have had a lot of conversations about that. And so that's one thing I think that I would like to bring to the listeners, so that maybe the people who are coming from the same background as we did can hear things a different way that maybe they've never heard before.
For sure.
And I mean, if they'll just listen, like hear us out and just see what we have to say, I think everybody's going to really enjoy that.
It's going to be great.
I think we have a lot of soul secrets to tell.
We do have a lot of soul secrets.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
Lots of bridges.
So anyway, that's, a little bit of our background, a little bit about who we are. I want to tell you a little bit more about who Carli is, because sometimes I know it's hard for each of us to talk about ourselves, but Carli is like a ray of sunshine. She's a ray of light. She's always being funny and trying to make people laugh. And she's a super good performer. Like I said before, she can get in front of anyone and dance and sing. She's actually working on an album.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing. I've heard a few of the songs. I helped her write a few of the songs. And she's having so much fun doing that. And she's really blossoming. And I'm really proud of you that you've really come out of your shell and you're really just doing the damn thing, And she's just amazing. I love her.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What I'd love to share about Kirstin, what I want everyone to know about Kirstin is that, first of all, it's just so crazy because, like being away from a college roommate and a bunch of roommates, we had 4 of us that we were really close to, like gone for 20 years. And then all of a sudden our paths converge when we're right at the precipice of leaving like old, or maybe I was at the precipice of like leaving old belief systems behind. And Kirstin was just walking a path of depth and more self-discovery and just reinforcing her way of being and the freedom that she experienced. So when I met her again 2 or 3 years ago, it was like this like reunion, but it was so deep in a way that it was just profound that I could see like the gifts that she had to offer the world that nobody could see but me. And I thought, whoa, what a privilege to see that, So what Kirstin possesses is just the ability to be so consistent and steadfast with every human, every friend or not friend, and to treat each person as if they were a family member, and how attentive to detail she is in every way. Like for me, I have like a 30-minute.
That might also be a little bit of my ADHD.
No, but like she has a tender loving care that she does care about every detail. And she's also extremely objective and non-judgmental. And so she'll show you truth that hurts. And that's the best kind of a friend to have, though, is to really show you the truth, even though it like stings and you're like, and you have to go inward and figure out, what is this truth that she just poked the bear? I got to go figure it out.
Thank you for not hating me for doing that.
I mean, I do, but just for a little while. No. Just kidding.
I just have a hard time not telling the truth because,
it's a perfect way to be. But when somebody's trying to find their voice, AKA me, it's foreign. It's
to me,
foreign.
It's like, if I love you, like, I want you to know, like, hey, we got to get this going. You got to get this together. Like, I want the best for you, because also I tend to see visions of people. And I mean, I saw a vision of you as soon as you told me you wanted to sing and perform. But no, I saw it a long time ago when we were roommates. I kept telling you, I see you on Saturday Night Live. I see you in New York. I see you performing. And I've believed that this whole time. And honestly, the 20 years that I wasn't around you, I figured you were working on that because that's who you are, right? I didn't even know that you had suppressed all of that.
Completely
and that you
suppressed it.
Right. And so when I saw you again, I'm a photographer. So, and so she says, hey, can we do a photo shoot? And I'm like, of course. And we do a photo shoot, and she sees the photos and she's like, this me?
Yeah.
Really? And I'm thinking, well, yeah, duh. I mean, it's a picture. It's you. And she's just like, wow. And I think that photo shoot brought out of you like something you didn't see in yourself, which was really amazing, that can happen. And I mean, I'm a true believer in that photos can bring out that in people. And it made me so happy that it did. And from there, you just exploded. You were like, wow, that's me. I can do it. I mean, it's been a rocky road still, but I mean, you were really opening up after that. And I saw the visions. I saw you were on the stage, you were performing. It was beautiful. And I still see it happening. And now we're here on this stage. So this is
creating our own.
I know. So fun.
What a journey.
It is. Yeah.